The conversation that changed my life. The conversation that changed my life, Toastmaster Aaron.
Raise your hand. How many of you have got conversations that comes daily in your life? Fantastic. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, let me just tell you, when I researched this topic in internet, Google Baba, Google said daily more than 6,000 thoughts and conversations that comes in our mind. I used to think conversations are just nothing, but that can make a person or break a person. Even I used to think conversations can be a just waste of thing, but that can be a life changer for everybody. Before I move on to my conversations that happened with me that changed my life, I would like to give you some more information that can change your life. There was a person, I think majority of you know, Sri Ratan Tata. During his interview, one of his interview, a graduate person was sitting in front of him, and he was asking a question. Sir, how much time will it take to buy a Range Rover car? Range Rover, right? So, Ratan Tata said, it will take more than 5 years. The person got confused. He asked Ratan Tata, sir, you have billions of dollars, you have a lot of money. Within 1 second, you can just sign up a check and you can buy a car. Then, Ratan Tata said, you are just thinking about that car. I am thinking about the company to own. That was a conversation that changed that person's life. So, any conversations that can change your life or break your life and also make your life. Let me just tell you one more small example. There is a famous quote by Jeff Bezos. How many of you know Jeff Bezos? Everybody knows, right? Obviously. So Jeff Bezos said, you are your own brand. Your brand is what others say about you when you are not in the room. So that is also a conversation. That is also a thought. Let me just tell you one thing. If you want to become a successful person, you should have your own personal branding. And by the way guys, today I am not going to talk about branding at all. The topic is conversation that changes life. Before I enter my life story, I would like to inform you one more thing. Disclaimer. This is my life story which I am going to say. So it can be an emotional one and inspirational one. So do understand my feelings and you can take away a lot of messages in that. Few years back, I was in school. I used to be bullied because I had deformity in my hand by birth. So children used to tease me and they used to make me fun of me, like alien, oh alien, jagu and all. And they used to be afraid because of these finger-like things. And I used to be alone in a corner of in a class corner. Then what I did whatever those people were saying, I didn't hear. I made that conversations into positive things. And I made myself stronger. I started joining martial arts classes. Right now, I am in Taekwondo, yellow belt, Taekwondo orange belt and Karate yellow belt. And daily I do practice, even now, whenever I go to the gym morning time, around 15 to 20 minutes as a warm-up session with my famous favorite nunchucks. So what I want to convey in my first conversation was, whenever they used to tease me, I never took that things as negative. I took those messages as positive things and I converted myself into positive person. Now even if you keep a brick, I can break with this hand, single hand. So this was my first conversation that changed my life. The second one, let me just tell you one information. Before I move on to the second conversation, I would like to say a small story. There was a well. There's a donkey. Somehow the donkey fall on the well, inside the well. And there were a lot of people. And obviously what we do, normally when we see a well, we try to spit in it or we try to throw stone at it, something like that. We mischievously we do. But those people started throwing mud and stone at the donkey. But what that donkey does, donkey is still inside the well. He just shakes it out, moves this side. Shakes it out, moves this side. Shakes it out, moves this side. And after some time, what the donkey does, with this mud and stone, he started climbing on and he's escaped. This is connected with my second conversation that happened. During my schooling time, I was bullied, as I said. One more reason was there. I wouldn't be able to understand letters. Learning disability 3. That is known as dyslexia. So everybody used to tease me, hey duffer, hey idiot, you can't understand. You are just lazy fellow. You are just making fun of yourself in front of the class. And I used to get all the subjects 0 mark. And everybody used to tease me and everything used to happen. But again, the second conversation that happened, if I can do anything, if they are saying something, just forget it. I can do anything. That was the second conversation that happened with me. Because there are 2 types of conversations. One is conversation with ourselves, and second conversation is someone will guide you. That is a conversation with the third person. So here also the second conversation, first conversation with myself happened. That transformed me. And right now, as Madam Toastmaster of the day said, I am a double postgraduate, MBA plus MCom. The third conversation happened in this room, in the club of Toastmasters. When I heard a speech from the third person, that is William Ron, when he was launching a book, he said that if you want to be a brand, make a personal brand. If you want to be identical, make a personal brand. And through book, you can become a brand. And from his speech, I became inspired, and along with me in this club, Sham, Toastmaster Sham sir, we both started approaching each other for mentoring, asking for mentoring, helping for writing a book. And I came to know about a community for writing a book, and that's how I became an author. And I launched my first book, 7 Principles to Unlock Entrepreneurial Code, in last August, and second book will be soon upcoming. So that's how. So this is how my third conversation happened. Because as I said, 2 types of conversation. One within ourselves, second through the third party. Let me just come to the fourth conversation that changed my life. When I was in my entrepreneurial journey, I started getting negative thinking, negative thoughts. Then I approached my mentor. Sir, I am not able to grow. I am not able to get leads. What should I do? What can I do further to upgrade myself? My mentor gave an idea. He suggested me, you think in yourself, what possibilities can you have? What are the powers you have? What are the strengths you have? So that was my fourth conversation with him. That changed my life. That conversation gave me an idea. And right now, I am a business coach, giving lectures, giving trainings to entrepreneurs, startups, and even young college students for their startups, and how to position your product or service in the market. And recently, let me just tell you, the college where I didn't get the admission, that college invited me personally for giving a guest lecture for the MBA students. So this was my life-changing moment. And again, next week, I am getting one more institute. They are calling me paid incentive with paid session for their students. So this was my fourth conversation that happened with me. So just think, in your life also, some conversations, as I told you, can make you or can break you. There are a lot of thoughts coming in your mind. There are a lot of conversations that happens with your loved ones, your spouse, friends, your colleagues, mentors, and everybody. So whatever is beneficial for you, take it, stress it, take it, understand it, and move on. Now coming to the fifth one, the conversation that happened with me, that changed my life. That is my ideas. Negative things, negative ideas. Whenever I think that, oh, today my client is not there, my business is not down, my business is down, that conversation makes me more negative. Then what I do is I started watching South Indian movies. You know South Indian movies like KGF, then Bahubali. Those movies have a lot of motivational things that will make you inspired. So those words from KGF make your brand, personal brand. That gave me an idea. And now I am also into influencer mode. I am an influencer, brand identity, and also I am part of grooming and fashion shows. They invite me as a guest, and by the way, next week I am being invited as a guest of honor for one of the musical concerns. So that made me self-confident, booster. So these are the 5 conversations that happened with me in my life. So I want to tell you one thing, that understand, whenever you are having a conversation with your friends, relatives, and everybody, how many of you know filter coffee? Filter coffee. Have you drank? I know how this. I am a fan of filter coffee. And what we do in filter coffee is the purest form of filter decoction, what you get after doing the filtration process, filter coffee. Similarly, if you are having any conversation with your clients, with your family members, with your relatives, with your friends, you need to filter it out, layer by layer. What is important? What is not much important? What is waste? So whatever waste thing, you just avoid it, and the important thing, obviously you should do it prior basis, and whatever you can avoid it can be done later on. So that's how you can filter it out. And now let me just ask you, any conversation you had in your mind? You had in your mind that changed your life or not? Wait a minute. Let me just tell you one small incident before I conclude my speech. The conversations are your personal branding that will help you. Some people think conversation is just waste of thing, but those conversations every day we are having in your mind now, that you have to filter it out. Every day we get positive conversation as well as negative conversation. More than 6,000, as I said earlier, more than 6,000 thoughts and conversation that happen in our mind. So you should understand which conversation to be taken away, which should be removed, and which conversation you need to take in and use with the benefit. So that is how I would like to give you information, give you valuable thought about the conversation. Now, before I conclude with my speech, I would like to inform you one more thing, that people think negatives, people think positive, people think average. So, if you are thinking negative, make that into positive things. Like I did. In my schooling, as I said earlier, all the negative things I converted into positive things. So how to convert the positive thing is just relax. Now I am giving the solution to get proper conversation with your mind. You can relax yourself. Yoga, you can do yoga. And not only yoga, become busy with yourself. As I had a lot of issues, problems in my life, what I did, the main is I became busy. I started involving in different corporate clubs, business clubs, social clubs. And from there I learned a lot of things. And that made me a good person and good thoughts. So I urge everybody, if you are having any bad thoughts, bad conversation, just take the filtration of that. Like if you may be having like orange, you all have seen oranges, right? Orange is how you take the juice of the orange, just squeezing out, right? Similarly, you have to squeeze the thoughts, squeeze the conversations, and you have to take the juice out of the conversation. What is beneficial, that only is required. So that's how I would like to give you good message, and I would like to end my conversation.